Welcome to Standard Barber Wargaming. We have another battle report for you today. We have 50 points, Retribution versus Skorne. We're playing overrun scenario. This is my list. I have full Nist Hunters, an Arcanist, Hypnos, full Sentinels plus UA, another Arcanist, Discordia, Ossian, full Mage Hunter Strike Force plus UA, and 2 Mage Hunter Assassins. Go.
So here is my small force. It kind of looks small for 50 points of Skorne. I'm using Naresh. He's got 2 Titans, a Bronzeback, and a Gladiator here. He's got an Aggie up here next to an Ancestral Guardian. I've got a max unit of Pain Givers. I have a Kriya and an Archidon to round out his beasts. I've got a max unit of silver skin with silver weapons and silver clothing Neolators. I've got a min unit of Carrix, the most hated unit, I think, in Hordes. I have Hakar, the Destroyer, over here, and then I have a unit of Tyrant Commander Battle Standard.
Penis. Alright, I had a pretty generic first turn. I threw Quicken on the Nist Hunters, Admonition on Hypnos, Shatterstorm on Discordia, and I ran my entire force up.
So, the bottom of round 1, basically, I ran up my my Neolators, I ran up Hakar. I was able to create this weird little screeny, doomy thing, and press forward my Carrix from the Tycom, get my Archidon in there to be partially shielded, partially just up there. Animus, Rush, Bronzeback came up, Ancestral Guardian came up. I gave cast Lamentation on Naresh and gave 2 Fury to my Aggie, and then I've got Paralytic Aura up. And so, yeah, that's it.
Alright, so on my turn, Ossian advanced, popped the feet, shot the Bronzeback. Discordia and the Mage Hunter Strike Force also shot the Bronzeback. Between their combined fire and the extra dice from the feet, I was able to kill it. The Nist Hunters charged the Annihilators, doing very poorly. I'm missing attacks and making tough rolls, but I did manage to kill 2. Over on the left flank, Mage Hunter Strike Force member killed a Beast Handler, and my Assassins both ran around. Hypno shot the Annihilators. The only one he hit was able to make his tough roll, and the other 2 did not suffer blast damage. And I ran the Sentinels and Arcanist, and that was it for my turn.
Okay, so this is the bottom of round 2. It took a little while, but basically I just, I didn't move my Annihilators. They killed a bunch of these Nist Hunters or whatever they are. The Carrix came up, even with their much improved Rat from combined melee, they didn't do anything. The Tycom came over here. It was pointless, I found out, because I was not able to give the Gladiator, who I failed to charge against Hypnos, press forward, so lesson learned. Sprint, Archidon, killed a model, came back. Naresh had Sprint on him as well, killed this one of these, whatever they are, Mage Hunter Strike Force, and was able to bring himself back up to full life after cutting himself to upkeep Lamentation. My Kriya popped her Animi, and good to go. Oh, my Agonizer's up here.
Alright, so Retribution turn 3, fairly eventful. I whiffed with my Nist Hunters, and then I ran my Mage Hunter Strike Force. My Mage Hunter Assassins killed 2 Beast Handlers. My Sentinels largely whiffed against the Ancestral Guardian. Discordia managed to kill the Agonizer, and then between Hypnos and 5 more Sentinels, I killed the Titan Gladiator. So that was it for Retribution.
So this is bottom of round 3. Basically, I'm in a pretty nasty position because I don't have all my activations worked out with movement shenanigans a la Circle Obros. With Naresh killed some people. The Archidon killed some people. Took a little bit of damage, was healed up. These guys didn't really do anything. Yeah, there they are.
Alright, so on my turn, I attempted and failed to kill Naresh. Got him down to 2 damaged boxes. Other activity over here, I finished off the Beast Handlers. My Assassin chopped the Tycom's head off, because I hate the Tycom.
Well, I've got one Beast Handler. But...
okay, yes. And the Nist Hunters killed Annihilator, and that was it.
Okay, it's bottom of round 4, I believe. Pulled a lot of kind of shenanigans here, but I did it in the wrong sequence. I got Naresh over here. He didn't have anybody to really hit or scourge him originally. Maybe the Kriya or Archidon could have done something, but anyways. Oh, my Annihilators could have come up. Anyways, he cycloned over here. He got a point off of Discordia, and then he did quite a bit of damage to Ossian, and then I critical pitched the Archidon twice, throwing, what is it?
Discordia.
Throwing Discordia into Ossian, knocking him down, and getting him down to 1 point of damage, so...
Alright, so on my turn, I shook effects, did Discordia up, concentrated power with an Arcanist, boosted hit, and damage on Naresh and killed him.
Why don't you knock him over there so we know how dead he is? Die! Die! No, you didn't like that, did you, Naresh? No. Okay.
I think he did like it. That's kind of the whole point of his fluff.
He's like, wow,
He's
something
like,
that was able to kill me.
It's like Discordia. Turns me on.
Okay, so?
So, good game. Retribution victory.
So, I just finished my first game of what I would probably consider to be the classic Skornergy scenario, where I actually used things like Hakar the Destroyer, I used Ancestral Guardian, and I used some infantry. I used Neolators, I used a min unit of Karoks, I had a max unit of Beast Handlers. I had quite a few beasts. It was a 50-point game, but I definitely had significant elements of Skornergy in there, and it was interesting. Usually I just run I run my Skorne like anybody would run their army, right? Where you have Fury, you have Beasts, and you have a Warlock, and maybe some heavy infantry, some light infantry, but it's not based around, I want my infantry to die so that my constructs can get buffs. Right? I attempted that this time, especially in the end game. I found it very, what's the word I'm looking for? I found it very exhausting, trying to keep track of all the possible order of operations in concert with available Skornergy to be able to make any kind of an assassination run in the position that I was in. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I had Naresh, I had an Archidon. Naresh had not popped his feet yet. He had Lamentation up. Hakar the Destroyer was trying to circle around and charge the back of Ossian. Interesting things. Essentially, this is many more special rules than, not the dwarves. Right, many more special rules than I'm used to. Usually my armies are very straightforward. The most special rule I have will be like rush or, you know, an animi, something like that. And this, I had an Aggie, an agonizer that was right up in the front line who actually was able to do a little bit of significant denial. I had Naresh with Lamentation upkept on him using denial. I had the Kriya denial, so I had quite a bit of denial. I had quite a bit of Skornergy. I had all kinds of different special rules that worked in concert or did not work in concert with one another, and it was exhausting. It was a 50-point game in 2 hours. I think that was my longest Warhammer or War Hordes, my longest War Machine Hordes game that I ever played, and by the end of it I think that both Aaron and I were tired of playing the game. I played against an Ossian list, so when it came to infantry removal, I did fine. Right, the Annihilators, they were going berserk. They were, oh my god, I don't know what to... Right, the Karoks, and they killed 1 or 2 of the guys. I think they didn't do anything spectacular. They gave up souls. The Annihilators gave up soul tokens. My Ancestral Guardian and Hakar the Destroyer, they had no issue having boosted attacks or speed or armor or anything like that. So I really like that element. I'll try unit of Immortals probably next time, maybe another Ancestral Guardian, and maybe instead of the Karoks, a max unit of Praetorian Swordsmen. As far as Naresh goes, I really like Naresh. I like how he functions. He is Skornergy incarnate. His feat does damage, but gives boosts to his own guys and to himself. If I were to use a similar list to this,
and replace the caster. That's what one of the things or the warlock, excuse me. One of the things I like to experiment with when I'm doing the afterthoughts is if I were to keep the same list but replace the warlock, who would I replace him with? And it'd probably be somebody else who's very assassination focused. So maybe Makeda, probably E or P, probably E Morgul. And I've got E Morgul in the mail. And I may try running a similar list to this with E Morgul and see if he's able to make his own assassination run. So, from all of us here at Santa Barbara Wargaming, we'll see you next time.